So which Trump are we getting in this election? Is he a hawk or a dove? Joining me right now is tonight's roundtable. Molly Ball, staff writer covering politics for The Atlantic. Matt Schlapp was White House political director for George W. Bush and is chairman of the American Conservative Union. Amanda Terkel is the senior political writer and politics managing editor at the HuffPost's. Let me start with Molly at my end and go right through here. 100% inconsistency here. From what he said at the time of when we had to decide whether they go in or not. I personally, I'm a non-interventionist, but I remember clearly Samantha Powers, Susan Rice, and Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State, all pushed for an intervention, and they convinced the president to do it. Trump apparently was part of that line back then. Now he's saying he was against that line as of this morning. Where is he? Where was he?
Well, he was somewhere, and now he's somewhere else, obviously. I mean, it's the same with the Iraq War, right? Because he now has been, in this campaign, has been very critical of the Iraq War, but he's on the record from before the war as saying that he supported the invasion. So there, and this is a tension in his rhetoric. When he says that he's...
Why would it change?
He says he's militaristic.
Motive.
But he also says, well, because he's running this time as a non-interventionist. He's running as an America
Why would he
first.
switch?
That's where he sees the electorate, presumably, and it seems to have worked for him so far.
Matt, sounds right to me what you just said, Molly.
Yeah, I agree with Molly. I think he's
the tune of the, if you want to tune your instrument to the current note, the note is non-intervention. Right.
What's the common thread? America. Let's take care of America.
Well,
let's take care of America's economy. Let's take care of America's jobs. And the other thing is that, let's face it, it's a war-weary country. It has been war-weary for a very long time. There's a reason why the right track, wrong track has been on the wrong track for 12 years. A lot of that is we feel a certain malaise about where things are at home.
And he thinks that this is a way he can differentiate himself from Hillary Clinton, too, because, you know, she was in favor of the war in Iraq, intervening in Libya. He was, too, but he thinks he can just say, no, I wasn't. Just go look at the record. I mean, he's just lying, and he will probably have a different position tomorrow if he thinks that's the way the political winds are.
It's not that he's changing his mind. He's saying, I never had a difference of mind.
Right. He is actually just lying. I mean, he said, go look. There are tons of clips out there from before the war in Iraq where I am out there opposing it. The media's looked. There is nothing out there, and he hasn't been able to produce anything.
Look, let me just get back to political. Why is he doing this? It's better to say I'm against this stuff now, and I've always been against it, than to admit you were ever for it. Even if there are people who are reporters can point out the inconsistency, right?
Right, and I mean, his supporters aren't supporting him for rational reasons, being like, well, I really looked at Donald Trump's position on Libya.
Rational is a hard word.
Okay,
you're saying the voters are not being logical?
Rational is the wrong word, but he is not, his supporters are not saying, you know, I support Donald Trump because I really like what he's saying on Libya. A lot of it is very emotional. They like his character. They like who he is. They like that he's thumbing his nose at the establishment, and he's not doing what traditional politicians are. And that will come through even if he changes.
Do you think he just discovered nationalism? That he wasn't a nationalist 4 or 5 years ago? Nationalism, I am convinced, is his grandest pull. It's us against the Russians, us against the Mexicans, up against every foreign power, Chinese, the Arabs, the NATO powers. It's not even racial. It's just everybody else but us Americans. And it's for us. And top getting screwed around by the rest of the world and pushed back. And it includes don't angle in the Middle East wars.
I think it's where a lot of Republicans are post George W. Bush and Barack Obama. Why would people be against the Libya policy? Probably because it's been a failure. Why are people looking at Iraq and saying, I don't know if I'd be for that? Right, because even this president who ran on the fact that we'd be out of some of these places hasn't been able to convert on that. And the fact is this, our economy is incredibly soft as well. And as you know, that undergirds everything in politics. People don't feel good about their economic situation.
You know, Ronald Reagan, in addition to other advantages, he was a lucky guy. He would go to these bite-sized wars like Grenada, in and out in 3 or 4 days, right? A lot of people got killed, things went wrong, but Noriega down in Panama, in and out, you know. They made everybody feel good, like the Falklands Wars made Margaret Thatcher look good, but they were over.
Well, because Reagan was not a big-time interventionist. Right. Reagan was, you know, Trump, I think you could make a case, is very much in the mold of trying to minimize the footprint.
Bite-sized wars.
Yeah, and try to commit ourselves as little as possible to these foreign entanglements. You can say America first and have that not mean simply isolationism. You can have that mean something different about America's interests in different situations.
Well, here he is now in the present time. Amanda, this is the new Donald Trump, the new model this year. Anyway, out on the campaign trail, he called for less intervention in the world, but he also calls himself the most militaristic. Catch this, even more militaristic than George W. Bush. So another angle to the man.
I'm the most militaristic person here. I'm the most militaristic person in this room, believe me. I'm the most militaristic person. Militaristic. I'm much more militaristic than Bush. even the brother?
It's like Generalissimo Shanghai Shek. It's like this guy, it'd be good, epaulets on his sleeve, I'm going to war. Why is that sell at the same time he's selling non-intervention?
Right. He is carrying a big stick. He is not being quiet about this. And this is Donald Trump, where every day it seems like he has a different position. He can be whoever his supporters want him to be.
Yeah, but there's a certain bottom line to where he is now. He's for non-intervention now.
He is for non-intervention now, but he wants to hold out the threat of intervention there because make America great again. Everyone will respect America, and so we should hold out the threat that we can nuke the world if we want to.
I wonder if this conversation has any effect on anybody that likes him. They go, oh, these people are quibbling. I sometimes feel I'm quibbling. You know, I don't like to quibble. Anyway, the roundtable's sticking with us, and up next,